Hi, Latasha. How you doing? All right, bowling night it is. Bowling Palooza. Okay, so I'm looking at the compositions, and I think the very, very obvious thing here, and I don't mean this to sound discouraging at all, but the bowling pins, they just don't, they look more like kind of like light bulbs. These look like light bulbs, and for the longest time I thought, what is the connection between bowling and light bulbs? And I finally realized that these are actually bowling pins. So what I would recommend is take a real close visual look at some images of bowling pins and really figure out what they look like, because these don't represent. Bowling pins are such a unique shape and such a unique object that it should be really super easy to duplicate that. But right now, and as I said, I don't mean to sound discouraging, but these look almost like baby bottles, and then these definitely look like light bulbs. So I think that's an issue right there that needs to be addressed. Now, as far as the compositions go, I think that we've got a really wonderful chance here to create a really unique and cool piece. And what I'm seeing here is we take the attributes of bowling and try to use them to our favor. Okay, so of course we've got the round ball, and then think of something we can contrast the round ball to is, and I think the depth. When I think of bowling, I think of standing at the end of the alley and looking down and just seeing that beautiful full perspective of that linear perspective of that bowling lane kind of diminishing and down into a vanishing point where the pins lie. And I think that could be a really interesting thing in this, and really be able to establish depth beautifully by creating that kind of illusion of looking down an alley and having the pins at the end. And then, of course, if you didn't want to get that detailed, even this piece right here, I think this is a good piece right here. What I would recommend here is black bowling balls. And definitely you can play with depth there. So one ball is bigger than the other, and you show that by overlap and by diminishing size. And I think that'll really draw some visual interest. And think about a radial gradient on the bowling balls, black to white, very, very subtle. I shouldn't say black to white, I should say black to gray, so that you're showing the volume and the dimension and especially the volume associated with the bowling balls, the spheres themselves. Okay, so if you take this piece right here, and the type here is really, it's unusual because it's offset. You've got this centered title, but then you've got this type here that's offset. And I would go ahead and place that center if you're using centered composition. That way you have a big ball and a little ball behind it, and then a couple of bowling pins like here indicating. And I love the fact that these are tipped over, indicating that the ball has dropped the pins. That's fantastic. So that, I think this one has the most potential. I think it's the most visually interesting and has the most potential to demonstrate the elements and principles that we've been learning for the last several weeks. So consider depth, consider using gradient to indicate volume. Consider perspective and also overlap. Okay, and I think that is really going to be a wonderful piece. That's not to say you can't develop any one of these. Whatever you feel has the strongest potential, please go ahead and move forward in that direction. But those would be my comments moving forward. If you have any questions, please, what's going on here? Okay, there we go. Okay, if you have any questions, feel free to give me a holler. Thank you very much.